Also in his own tier is your number 2 defensive tackle. So just one man in tier 2, and that man is?
That is Calijah Kancey from Pittsburgh. Right, my number 2 DT, and really I think like he's the closest thing that you're ever going to see, and I'm not saying he can be this, but it's the closest thing you can see out of college of Aaron Donald that I've seen since he's coming out.
So their body types are almost
it's crazy.
Identical here.
Yes.
And I think we have something, Christian, a little later down here. So the 40-yard dash was a 4.67, which was a combine record for a defensive tackle, by the way.
I mean, he's only 282. I mean, no big deal.
It was a 100th of a second faster than Aaron Donald. Also went to Pitt. And so it's like they go to the same college. Their builds are almost identical. They have some of the same deficiencies with size and maybe arm length, but it hasn't hurt Aaron Donald. And
no,
I guess you don't think it's going to hurt Kancey as well.
No, I don't. You know, is he perfect? No. Is he going to lose in some double teams? Sure. Right. So does Aaron Donald. Guess what? We don't talk about it because he's going to the Hall of Fame in 4 seconds now, whenever he wants. He's the man, right? I mean, this is the closest thing I've seen to it. It's the body. I mean, he's rocked up, first off. I mean, rocked up. It's a specimen body. You know, it goes into my own phrase of, you know, like I think if you try to stick a knife in him, the knife's going to break. Like, it's not going to win, right? I mean, crazy explosive. I mean, you know, not only like explosive straight away, but like just twitchiness, like coming off the ball and shaking, you know, using his hands, trying to shake the guard. I mean, it's like, again, like you see Aaron Donald do the footwork drills with the ladder and all that. It's very similar. It's kind of scary how it looks like him. The movements, I watch him and go, there's no way he hasn't worked with Aaron Donald a little bit. That's what one of the things that came away. There's no way Aaron Donald didn't teach him that spin move right there. There's no way. It looks exactly like him. I mean, it's the same type of movement. But, I mean, strong, like, is an understatement. I mean, strong? This is the Incredible Hulk. I mean, incredibly strong. I mean, it's like crazy strong. And it's pedal to the metal every play. He's like a psycho. It's Tasmanian devil stuff. Great hands, gets off blocks, you know, upper body strength off the charts, ability to take double teams much better than I expected. It's not perfect. I know. That's the big question, right? He's 282. Can he take on double teams? Well, this guy can. With that body and this strength, he can. You know, and it's never going to be perfect. That's never going to be his bread and butter.
Yeah.
But it's not bad.
But in some of the highlights, the quickness that he has, he can get his body in certain positions to get around the double team or
get around it or split it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Split
or kind of just, and it's kind of ugly, but they don't move him or whatever. Exactly right. He does a lot of that. Let alone when people do get him clean. There was plenty of plays where I went away and went, damn, he did okay on that one. Oh, damn, there's another one he did okay on. Okay. You know, I was afraid it was going to be like amazing play, and then, oh, crap, he got knocked 8 yards down the field. Amazing play. Oh, got knocked 10 yards down the field. That's what I was like kind of expecting. It was nowhere near that. You know, great lower body strength. Again, the awkward positioning, I'm big into that. I think it's some of the bust we talked about earlier. I wish I would have brought this up. Is a stiffness aspect, right? The game's never going to be perfect to where you're right here. Yeah, good luck. What? Yeah, it's going to be right there when Frank Ragnow hits you, and you know who's another guard on your team? You know, Vaitai.
Yeah.
They hit you. Like you think you're going to be just standing there in some perfect position? No, your body's going to be contorted in some weird position. How are you going to respond to that? That's where him and Jordan Davis, him and Jalen Carter were phenomenal. He could be in a position where you're like, oh my gosh, he's bent over, his head is by his left knee, his right arm's locked out, and he's about to go down, and he comes up on top in the phone booth fight and ends up putting the guard on their butt.
It's a lot of balance. It's probably a lot of core strength.
Of course it is.
So, but there are concerns though, right? With the size and the Aaron Donald. Like, yeah, what if he's the next Aaron Donald? But what if he's the next other undersized defensive tackle that hasn't panned out like Aaron Donald? MMA Born Sender says to you, as a Chargers fan who's got PTSD from years of Jerry Tillery and other small pass rushing interior defensive linemen, why is Kancey any different? Guy gets blown off the line in the run game.
I don't say that. I would not say blown off the line.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's, I think, a little strong there. I don't think it's anywhere near that. And I don't think, you know, again, to my man there, yeah, it's not perfect, but nobody's talking about a guy in the top 25 of the draft. He's just getting blown off the line in the run game, right? It's not perfect. This is not Jerry Tillery. This is a different guy. It really is. Tillery, yeah, he was a really, a big, tall, linear, athletic guy that people were going, okay, he might be like something here as an interior pass rusher. He's got to work on run game stuff and all that, and it didn't work out, But this is not that guy. This is a different player. This is a much better complete football player than a Jerry Tillery, right? Now, what you have to decide if you're like with the Chargers in that question there is, now again, he usually likes bigger people who can do two-gapping stuff. You don't want this guy to two-gap. That's not what he's made to do. Now, he did coach Aaron Donald, Brandon Staley, when he was with the Rams as a D coordinator, so he knows how to make that work, of course, right? But yeah, don't get the 281 and the 12 plays during the year where he lost on a double team detract you from the 1,000 awesome plays and the 1,000 really good plays and, the 800, stalemate plays, right? That's the biggest thing. Balance incredible. Bend is awesome. Can overpower you. Can make you miss. People are so worried about his violence in his hands, right? He gets them to brace or lean when they see the hands coming, and then he throws them to the ground, right? So he's amazing at punching, and they brace I'm going to lock my body in here, and they lean forward as they do it, and he goes, I feel you leaning forward, so I'm going to keep you going forward, throws you to the ground. He's great at that. Amazing lateral quicks, right? Can make a guard look like a fool. He can play strong side defense end, right? He's that athletic. So he's definitely available of that.
That was a question from Jolly Drew Boy. He goes, do you think it makes sense for Kancey to drop a little weight and move to edge?
No. I think it's the, he's gotten some value there, but he doesn't have enough length.
Yeah.
Right?
6'1".
Yep. I don't know if his first step covers enough ground. And where guys like this being on the inside, it's their ability to get on you so quickly that gives them their value as an interior guy.
And working tight quarters.
Tight quarters because he's explosive. He's a phone booth fighter. He's extremely quick and explosive in all those areas. But here, maybe this explains it better. When you're at guard and you have to defend him, you have to be like I got to get my base ready because he could go left or right, or he might punch me and get right up on me. So he can use all those tools against each other to make that work. Some of those tools get left at defense end when you're going against a tackle. Now it's more of a space game. He's not so much worried about being bull rushed, right off the line of scrimmage. So now he can kind of sit in there ready for the anchor, right? He's usually, a big, long guy where, okay, I can protect the inside because if you try to go the outside, I'll be able to push you by. It takes away some of the things he does really well, but there's still value there.
He's fun to watch on tape in the highlight reel. We'll give the last word to @SkullSquatch, who's probably just Mike Florio that's got an alias out there. He goes, I see a lot of people devaluing Kancey because he gives up ground to the run game when double-teamed. I think they're underestimating the value of quick interior disruption.
Exactly.
He seems like he's going to wreck a lot of plays in the NFL.
That's the point. Don't get...
Florio's burner agrees with you.
Yeah, don't get too... Again, like we said, it's not going to be perfect in that area. But it doesn't matter. There's that's going to be some of the give and the take of the relationship there. And just like it's always been with Aaron Donald. I mean, there was a time, remember when people were trying to say a few years ago, like, hey, Aaron Donald's not as good against the run as everybody thinks. Like, no shit. Yeah. I mean, he's 285. Some people move him around. Or, he's 285 and like we talked about, he can shoot a gap that maybe he's not supposed to shoot a gap, or he gets through the gap so cleanly that it makes the hole bigger behind him, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To where now if you don't make the tackle on the running back right away, oh shit, we have this area gone because you busted through so quickly, right? Those are some of the negatives about the greatness of Aaron Donald, which you're just going to live with.
So last thing on Kancey, he goes maybe middle, end of the first round in your eyes, but definitely, as you just mentioned there, to a team that values what he can do and has a defense designed to accommodate a player like him.
Exactly right. And let me pull up the draft order. But yeah, at the end of the day, I ended up writing that he was 10 to 25. That's what I put him down. And yes, it's going to be a true 4-3 team that wants this guy as a football player. Whether it's the Houston Texans, maybe, the New York Jets are one of those teams that's true 4-3. I'm going from 10 on here. All right. I don't think, New England's not going to like him. The Commanders, of course, have D tackles growing out of their ears. The Packers, I don't think that's going to be a thing for them either, even though I'm not going to hold that out. That could be a possibility, right? And then you get into your Lions at 18. Could they want him? They generally want bigger people too. But again, this is a guy that's so talented that you're going to deal with okay, he's not the perfect system fit that way. But they all can make sense to me. And then again, we get into the Chargers at 21 and that conversation there, and we can start it all over. But those are some of the teams that certainly run a true 4-3 that, it would fit him and his skill set.
A first-round talent in Calijah Kancey, as well as our number one guy in Carter.
Yo, thanks for watching, homies. It's the off-season, but there's no off-season for us here at Unbuttoned. Me, Ahmed Fareed, we're going to hit all the stories. So hit subscribe for us, okay? We got a ton coming up. My draft prospect rankings, my Simms top 40 quarterback countdown, and videos of me and NFL QBs playing catch and talking about their development and mechanics. Again, thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe. Peace out, homies. See you soon.